One of the dumb comments that I get all the time on this channel is that I kind of look like iDubbbz, and I thought I would take that criticism and run with it and kind of do a spin-off of one of his old good style series, okay? This guy, iDubbbz, used to do videos called Content Cop. He used to do videos called Bad Unboxings, but he also had Indiegogo excrement and Kickstarter crap. So that is what we're going to do today. We're going to do our version of Kickstarter crap, but instead of like making fun of a Kickstarter, instead of laughing at an Indiegogo, we are going to be celebrating an Indiegogo. So it's not going to be excrement. It's going to be more like sody pop, okay? So we're going to go through this Indiegogo sody pop together. Hey, how's it going? I'm your friendly neighborhood gatekeeper, Dan Frampton, and if you're here, that means you enjoy moshing and comedy, and I'm going to share with you guys some mosh style comedy that you need to know about right now. Now, if you're kind of like an older mosh head, Stanley Sievers is probably on your Instagram profile. You've probably seen this guy's videos floating around. He's the Mosh Retirement Guy, and he's been making the entire scene laugh their little faces off with this character that he's created, the Mosh Retirement Guy, which is basically like a 30-something scene kid stuck in the olden days, being super toxic, over masculine, insecure, and kind of manipulative, you know, and just like makes fun of that style person very, very well. And that style person has been around since the beginning of hardcore. So I think what Stanley is doing here is going to resonate with us older head scene kids and like the new crop coming up right now. It'll make the new generation be like, oh man, I know somebody like that. So this is Stanley Sievers' page over here if you want to go check it out. He's kind of done like the Mosh Retirement Guy for a while now. This was the first version. If you're not familiar, I'll just give you a little bit of a taste.
I might come out of Mosh Retirement.
And those moves that he was making, that sound, he's kind of made a whole thing about it, you know? There's an Urban Dictionary definition now. There's merchandise with hats and shirts. You can get the Mosh Retirement shirt going and the Hatebreed logo. Very, very clutch stuff over here. He also works with Cracked on these kind of like comedic movie reviews. Very funny stuff. And Blink-182 featured him in the promo video for them coming back. And the Mosh Retirement Guy isn't the only character that he does. He keeps it interesting. He keeps it lively, okay? But that character is definitely his most popular. So starting this Indiegogo to create an actual Moshumentary is very smart, and we're over halfway there to his goal. And since this is a fundraising campaign that I'm so wholly behind, I am going to show you his pitch video in full without any interruptions, and then we're going to come back, talk about it, and do a deep dive on his Indiegogo campaign and see if it's actually worth you throwing money at. Because hey, maybe this is just a bunch of bullshit. Maybe it's just a bunch of hype, but by the time we go through the video and this whole page, you'll have a solid understanding of what this is all about and if you want to support it. But spoiler, you're probably going to want to support this thing if you can.
My name is Stanley Sievers. I'm a filmmaker, actor, comedian. Currently, I'm working on making a mockumentary. Currently, I'm working on making a mockumentary about the Mosh Retirement Guy, and that's where I hope maybe y'all can help me out. So here's what it's about. A couple years ago, the Mosh Retirement Guy was at a show, and yeah, he was getting a little bit crazy. He started crowd killing people, and he crowd killed a guy so hard, that guy got Benjamin's Button disease. The same disease from the 2008 Brad Pitt film, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. The guy he crowd killed, Tony, this guy was a scene legend, a scene OG. No one knows where he's gone. No one knows where he has gone now. Local scene OG said, look, we can't have this Mosh Retirement Guy around people. It's too dangerous. So they put him in Mosh Retirement in perpetuity. That means along forever, almost forever. So the Mosh Retirement Guy, he's been struggling. He's in his room beating on one of those MMA guys that people train to fight on. And up until now, that's been his life. Then something happened. His favorite band announced they're doing a reunion show. You know he couldn't sit idly by knowing that that band would be playing and he wouldn't be moshing there. So he goes to the scene OG. The local scene OG said, look, if you can find Tony, you can come out of retirement for this. The Mosh Retirement Guy says, bet. But what he doesn't know is it's gonna send him on a journey to face his demons, all 100 of them. So check out the link to my campaign. There's a whole breakdown of the costs, where the money's going, all that stuff. Not to share too much, but there's gonna be some surprises as far as people you may recognize from movies, TV shows, bands. So check it out, share it, donate, tell your friends, maybe your enemies. And that's it. I'm looking forward to making this thing.
Okay, so that story sounds so sick, right? Mosh Retirement Guy is banished from the scene, and he has to find this Benjamin Button diseased guy, and if he can find Tony, the Benjamin Button guy, then he can come back to the scene, says the scene OG. So that's a great story, but it's going to be done in the style of a mockumentary, okay? So like sit down interviews with all these type characters sounds so fun and sounds like something that I want to see very, very badly. And I think if you spend any time going to shows, if you're currently going to shows, this is something that you're going to want to see as well. But he's an actor and a comedian, okay? This is a video. So we got to go through this whole thing and see if it's actually worth it. What is this all about? Yo, it's me, Stanley. You may have seen some of my videos online, including the Mosh Retirement Guy and others. For a while now, I've been waiting to take that character and do something bigger. I never expected people to connect with it as much as they have, which is what makes me so stoked about this idea. I'm trying to make a 12 to 15 minute mockumentary short film about the Mosh Retirement Guy. A 15-minute mockumentary sounds amazing for this character, like a highly consumable and digestible bite-sized piece of content that I think everybody's going to be able to enjoy. There isn't much representation of hardcore and TV and film, which is something I'm trying to change, says Stanley. Hardcore has changed my life and made me a better person. I'm hoping that it can do that for others as well. How wholesome, how authentic, wanting to give back to the scene, okay? Hardcore was there for him when he couldn't find a community or anywhere else. And since then, it's been an integral part of who he is. From 2008 to 2013, he toured in a band called Dead Icons, and with Call to Preserve. After that, he spent time doing merch for bands. So this guy's been in the scene, this guy's been in bands, this guy's been doing the whole touring thing. And let's just jump back in here. After I stopped touring, I struggled to find something else that gave me the same sense of passion and purpose that music did. Eventually, I found filmmaking and comedy. I moved to Chicago and started taking improv classes at Second City and IO Theater. Oh my God, Chicago is the place to do that, but I did that in Toronto. Look at this over here, Stanley. I got my Second City diploma as well. You know what I mean? I went through the whole thing. I was doing the long form. I was doing the short form. I joined a troupe afterwards and started doing like shows or whatever. Okay, I'm getting improv nerdy here. I got to get back on track. But instead of finding like film and comedy like Stanley did, I found YouTube and comedy. Let's dive back in. Eventually, I was performing a ton while at the same time writing and directing short films, sketches, and music videos. What a highly passionate and motivated guy out there doing all this stuff. You gotta love to see it. My goal all along has been to make TV and film that not only incorporates the music I love, but is fully about the community. We need this. We absolutely need this. I started making videos on social media a long while ago, but didn't think to make the stuff about the music I like. Exact same story about me over here, pal. I was making all sorts of videos, didn't even dawn on me to make videos about the music, okay? But then when it all clicks, you're like, this is what I should have been doing all along. Okay, cool, found it, let's go. Probably because I was too focused on shaving my head or something. Either way, I figured it out eventually, he says. That's what I'm trying to do with this project. Make something that feels funny, real, and true to the scene while being delivered in a professional way. Something that 10 years from now, people can show younger folks in the scene and be like, see, this is cool. And those folks will be like, we like EDM now, or whatever. Exactly. This needs to be made, this needs to be documented, this needs to be archived, and it needs to be around for the scene forever. Because the scene has proven to last the test of time, and the media within the scene is almost regarded to like a cult-like religious level. Alright, then he goes into the synopsis here, which we already heard him go through, which sounds funny and amazing. But this is what we all want to know. How much does he want, and where is it gonna go? Total budget for this crowdfunding project is $17,500, which I think is very reasonable. You want to pay all these actors, he's probably going to go union with all these people like behind the scenes. Personally, I won't be making a penny from this project, I just want to get it made. You might not get paid a whole lot from fundraising here, but this has the potential to raise the Stanley Sievers stock in the comedy world and the hardcore world, and that'll create the potential to be rolling in cash. The total budget goes to pay for things like production, insurance, crew, actors, post-production, food, transport, perks, Indiegogo fees, etc. And here's the pie breakdown of it all. It all seems to make sense. The majority of it here, 40% going to production, and post-production over here followed closely, 17%. Insurance, 15%. rentals, fees, and perks. Yeah, that all seems to check out for sure. So if you wanted to donate to this and help make this happen, there's a couple different packages you can choose. So we got two people on here that are scene legend producers, okay? So I recommend you come through here, maybe toss 15 bucks, get yourself a couple stickers, and get this closer to being made. Okay, how's about you douche all over that like button, subscribe, leave a couple pancakes down below, ring the bell if you're cool as hell, it'll notify you, and until my next upload, you can watch another upload.